The Elder Scrolls 6 was announced back in 2018. And even 8 years later, we still don't have a real trailer, screenshots, or a release date. But now, insider reports, leaks, and even Todd Howard himself are finally starting to break the silence. New claims suggest the game may not release until 2028 or even 2029, while leak location details point toward Hammerfell, High Rock, and possibly Valenwood. So today, we're breaking down every new leak, insider claim, and hidden clue that tells us where The Elder Scrolls 6 really stands right now. Before we dive into the details, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Now let's begin. For a franchise that once defined the open-world RPG genre, this long silence has slowly turned excitement into frustration over the years. What makes the weight even heavier is that Bethesda seems to be everywhere, just not for Elder Scrolls. With the Fallout series becoming a major hit on Prime Video and Starfield dominating years of development time, Elder Scrolls fans were left feeling like the world of Tamriel had been pushed into the shadows while everything else took center stage. One thing Todd Howard has made very clear is this: Fallout 5 will release after The Elder Scrolls 6. That single sentence alone makes Elder Scrolls 6 Bethesda's next true mainline title, the game expected to restore the studio's reputation after Starfield and put Bethesda back on the Prate RPG throne. But instead of fueling hype with trailers and showcases, Bethesda is doing the exact opposite. They are deliberately avoiding giving any release window. According to behind-the-scenes reports, the studio now believes that announcing the game so early was a major mistake. They no longer want to lose trust by giving dates and then facing delay scandals. And this is where things become dangerous. The longer a game stays hidden, the larger it grows in fans' minds. Expectations inflate, theories multiply, and when the game finally appears, it's no longer just a game, it becomes a legend. And legends almost never fully meet expectations. Bethesda's silence is driven by a much deeper fear. Inside the studio, talking too early has essentially become taboo. After what happened with Cyberpunk 2077, Starfield, and similar projects, they've learned that raising hype too early puts a game on trial before it even leaves the box. That's why Bethesda doesn't want to trigger another hype wave for The Elder Scrolls 6 with dates, trailers, or even screenshots. They believe the game should not face the public until it is close to perfect. At this point, Reese Kiwi Talks Riley enters the picture, a source known for past accurate leaks who claims to have insider information from Bethesda. According to Reese, the studio is internally targeting 2028 for The Elder Scrolls 6. However, even that date is not considered firm, and many developers believe 2029 is more realistic. That would mean an 11-year gap between announcement and release, one of the longest waits in gaming history. One of the biggest reasons Bethesda is being so cautious is the trust gap formed after Starfield. While Starfield sold well, a large part of the player base described it as unfinished, mechanically shallow, and soulless. Because of this, Elder Scrolls 6 has become more than a new game. It has turned into a reputation test for Bethesda. If this game fails, Bethesda's place on the RPG throne could be seriously shaken. Such a long development period also creates a dangerous expectation bubble. Players are no longer expecting just a good RPG. They are expecting a genre-defining masterpiece. The game is being pushed into legend status before it even releases. And history shows us again and again. Games labeled as legends before launch often become deeply divisive at release. One of Reese Riley's most striking comments connects directly to this. He believes The Elder Scrolls 6 could suffer from the Metroid Prime 4 syndrome, huge sales, but a sharply divided critical and community reception. Because after such a long wait, the game can't just be good. It has to be nearly perfect. Now let's get to the most exciting part, the world of the game. While Bethesda still hasn't said a single word, both older leaks and recent discussions on Reddit and closed forums strongly suggest that the map may cover Hammerfell and High Rock. These regions are among the most politically and culturally rich areas of Tamriel. Deserts, port cities, pirates, royal conspiracies, mage guilds, and ancient Redguard temples. If these leaks are true, Elder Scrolls 6 could offer the most diverse world the series has ever seen. Even more striking are leaks claiming the game may introduce a shipbuilding and sea travel system similar to Starfield's. Players would be able to build their own ships, travel between coastal cities, and explore islands across the ocean. This would expand Elder Scrolls not only horizontally, but vertically and across the seas, adding an entirely new gameplay layer. Another leak from 4chan with questionable reliability claims the game's full title may be The Elder Scrolls 6. Iliac, with an internal project name of White Beach. It also suggests the map may feature around 11 major cities and 2 massive fortress cities. None of this is official, but considering the scale of previous Elder Scrolls games, it doesn't sound impossible. But a small hint directly from Todd Howard opens another major possibility. In a Skyrim-related interview, Howard said that The Elder Scrolls 6 would have more trees than Skyrim. Even this single sentence suggests a more forest-heavy, densely vegetated region, which leads to the Valenwood theory. Valenwood is one of the wildest and most forest-dense regions in the Elder Scrolls universe. With Bosmer culture, living tree cities, vertical settlements, and nature-based survival mechanics, it would offer a completely different atmosphere than Skyrim. If Bethesda truly moves toward Valenwood, this wouldn't just be a new map, it would be a fundamental shift in tone and gameplay. Here's where the real danger begins. This project is no longer just a game. It's a turning point that will define Bethesda's future. The Elder Scrolls 6 must break the Bethesda isn't what it used to be perception formed after Starfield. It won't just be a new Elder Scrolls adventure, it will determine the studio's reputation, brand trust, and the fate of all future RPG projects. A 2028-2029 release window means roughly 11 years of waiting since announcement, placing Elder Scrolls 6 among the longest development cycles in gaming history. Such long silence inevitably raises the question, is something wrong behind the scenes? Even if Bethesda isn't in development hell, that suspicion has already taken root in players' minds. Another critical factor is competition. With massive titles like Grand Theft Auto 6 also approaching release, launching Elder Scrolls 6 in the wrong year could be disastrous. GTA 6 has the power to dominate the entire gaming landscape of its release year, and Bethesda knows this. They don't want Elder Scrolls 6 to be overshadowed. All of this paints a picture of Bethesda operating with surgical precision. They know that when this game finally launches, it must be technically solid, rich in content, and emotionally aligned with the true Elder Scrolls spirit, because there is no second chance for this game. And that's exactly why Bethesda continues what looks like careless silence from the outside, but is actually a calculated strategy. Their worst-case scenario is revealing the game too early and being labeled another Starfield. No matter how long we wait, when Elder Scrolls 6 finally appears, Bethesda will be all in. This cloud of uncertainty around Elder Scrolls 6 also highlights how much the modern game industry has changed. In the past, major studios would announce games years in advance and slowly build hype with trailers and gameplay showcases. Today, the moment a game is discussed too early, it gets dragged into masterpiece or disappointment debates before release. Bethesda has already fallen into this trap once, and they are determined not to repeat it. This may have pushed the studio to rethink not only the technology, but the entire design philosophy of Elder Scrolls 6. Years after Skyrim, player expectations have completely changed. Players no longer just want big maps, they want living worlds, meaningful choices, strong side stories, and systems built for replayability. Bethesda now has to protect the old spirit while adapting to modern RPG design. If the Hammerfell High Rock map is real, the political structures, cultural conflicts, and sea trade themes could give the game a much darker, more intrigue-heavy tone than Skyrim. Valenwood, on the other hand, would push the game into a wilder, more survival-focused direction. Either way, Elder Scrolls 6 will not just be a sequel, it will be a turning point that redefines the series. So the real question is this: would you rather wait until 2029 for a perfect Elder Scrolls 6, or should Bethesda finally break the silence and show us something now? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you want more next-gen RPG leaks, theories, and deep dives, don't forget to like the video and subscribe because we'll keep talking as new information comes in. See you in the next video.